Hello, everyone from Cwc Fan TV. I hope you're all doing very, very well. It's the final day. It's Club World Cup day. Chelsea are playing against PSG in the USA. My good friend Charlie is out there, obviously, from the channel. I don't think he's doing anything for us. Maybe he'll do a fan cam outside the stadium or something. But I'm in England. I'm in England for this one, and I'm going to be watching the game. I won't be doing a watch along, unfortunately. I know people have asked me about that. For me, the rare opportunities I get to watch the game at home, normally, I'm going to take the opportunity. If I'm totally honest with you, I am going to take the opportunity. So as much as I would enjoy doing a watch along, and I'd quite like to do it. I also just like the idea of being able to relax and watch the game. Because we have a big season coming up, and I'm going to all of them. So this one, I want to enjoy it. I want to enjoy it and make the most of it. And we've got a big day coming up as well, people. We've got a massive day. I mean, if you're a sports fan, you got Wimbledon at 4:00, the Wimbledon final, and then 4 hours later, you've got the Club World Cup. So any sports fans out there, we're having a great time. Get the strawberries and cream out at 4 and get the beers out at 8. That's my advice to you. But that being said, we're going to briefly touch on the game, and we're going to speak about PSG, what they can do, the problems they can cause, and see where we stand. Big up to everyone that's here. Big up to Daniel. I hope you're doing well. Big up to Pierre as well. Jason says a more direct approach is needed. If Maresca does a Maresca, we might as well hand PSG the trophy. Big up to Jordan. Amir says we can win this one. Thomas is feeling confident as well because Steve Austin said. There you go. Big up to Roseanne as well. Wrong formation will destroy the game tonight, according to Araka. Let's not waste any time going into this one, guys, because this is going to be a shorter stream than usual. But I had to do it, didn't I? Of course, I was always going to do a little stream. I was going to do a little something. Big up to everyone. Smash that like button as well if you haven't already. Listen, we've heard a few quotes going into this match. PSG players, I think Mendes said, we need to be humble going into this Chelsea game. And you know what? I think that's exactly the right mentality from a PSG point of view, because if they are humble and they just do what they need to do, then you'd struggle to see us beating them, to be quite frank. They are just unreal. And we can do a little combined 11 as well between Chelsea and PSG, because, I mean, I don't even know off the top of my head. I'll have to think about it for a second, but if we put the two teams together, how many Chelsea players get into PSG side? Honestly, give me a number. All right, and we're going to imagine that we've got a 4-2-3-1 as well. If we're going to do a combined 11. Shall we just get straight into it? Why not? Let's get straight into it. Okay. So if we were doing a combined 11 between Chelsea and PSG, who would we have in goal? Do we even need to think about that? Do we even need to think about that? Okay. Donnarumma would easily get in ahead of Robert Sanchez. Left back, Cucurella or Mendes? Cucurella or Mendes? I'll be honest with you. I absolutely love Cucurella. I think he's probably the best left back in the Prem. I think he's one of the best left backs in the world. I think Mendes is the best. I think he's unreal. I think it's very, very difficult to look at some of the players that they have, Nuno Mendes being one of them, and argue that there's a player better than him in that position at this moment in time. I think we've got to agree that Mendes is probably an upgrade on even Cucurella. So I'm putting Mendes in there ahead of Cucurella. This is not biased whatsoever, guys. We've got to be totally honest and realistic going into this game. I also want to say as well, I'm very relaxed going into this game. My stance is different to a lot of other people. I go into this game already feeling a sense of pride, feeling good, and I'm not particularly nervous. Maybe that will change in a couple of hours. Maybe it will. But right now, I'm not that nervous, honestly. I think that we can certainly challenge PSG. I think this game will go one of two ways. It will either be extremely tight and probably go to extra time, maybe even pens, or we'll get smashed. Those are the two ways that I see this going. There's no world where Chelsea thrash PSG to win this game. This is a game where we either win because of grit and really good tactics from Maresca and substitutions, etc., with the starting 11, or we get it totally wrong and PSG just absolutely capitalize off every mistake that we make. And you think of some of the passes that were misplaced against LAFC or Esperance or Benfica, Palmeiras, slightly different level of opposition here. So I think we've got to appreciate that we are playing against much better players all around the pitch. I'm not just talking about one player here that can cause problems. There's problems that can happen everywhere. I think we've got to agree with that one. But we've had two people saying Cucurella, to be fair. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to go with Chilwell on this one. Okay, in right back again. It's not even a fucking debate, is it? Let's be honest. It's got to be Hakimi. Even ahead of James, definitely ahead of Gusto. It's the truth, isn't it? It's the truth. So as it stands, I'm struggling to find a Chelsea player that gets in there. Right, what are we saying about the centre-backs? I think that you've got to get Marquinhos in there. You've got Kimpembe as well. I mean, what are we going? Oh, I'm not a true fan. So you're not a true fan if you think that PSG will beat us. I'm not really sure where that logic comes from. Also, I didn't say that I think PSG will thrash us. I said there's two options, but that is one of them, definitely. Cole and Pacho, Marquinhos and Levi. Cole and Marquinhos again. Marquinhos and Pacho. Okay, but we'll go with you know what, we'll stick Cole in there, and then we'll have Marquinhos as well. So we've managed to squeeze one Chelsea player in so far. Moving into the midfield. PSG have a very strong midfield. Very, very, very strong midfield. Fabian Ruiz, Vitinha, Zai Emery, João Neves. My God, they have a lot of quality. Lee Kang-in, Mayulu as well. But then we have Caicedo, Andre Santos, Enzo Fernandez, Lavia, who I don't think will be available, so we won't speak much about him. But the main two for us are Fernandez and Caicedo. Now, for me, if you're asking me to pick between Fernandez and Caicedo, I think that we have to pick Caicedo. I don't think that you can miss him out. I think he's a must in any team. But I think that you'd be looking at Vitinha as well. I think the most of the chat is saying that, to be fair. I mean, I love João Neves as well. To be fair, I do love João. You know, and what's his name? Fabian Ruiz had a great game against Madrid. I think he scored 2 goals. I can always change. I can tweak the formation, but that's just what Chelsea usually go with. So that's why I picked it. We can always tweak it if we need to. So I'm going to go with Vitinha as well. It's a quality looking midfield. Number 10. Bloody hell. Oh my God. Jesus. This is not going to take long. Kvaratskhelia, Doué, Dembele, Palmer. That is the team. If we're being like, let's not fuck around. That's the combined 11 with. I think I'd probably keep the same formation as well, to be quite frank. I'd keep the same formation. I wouldn't even change the formation. Like, I wouldn't want to put João Neves over anyone else. I wouldn't put him over Palmer. I wouldn't put him over any of the attacking players. I think Palmer can get into that. Palmer definitely gets in. Let's not sit here and act like Palmer wouldn't get in most teams. He now knowing what we know about Palmer and his ability, I think that we've got to give Palmer a little bit. And he slots into that 10 nicely. He would fit PSG's system as well. Loves to press, tracks back, runs, and still has that technical ability as well. Goal scorer, creative. What's not to love? Set piece taker. Smash the like button as well if you haven't already, people. We have over 120 of you in here as it stands. Smash that like button, especially if you think that Chelsea can get something from this game. If you're feeling confident, put a thumbs up on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. Big up to everyone. Really appreciate your time jumping on here. So that would be my combined 11. Now, hey, you want some interesting news? I'll give you something. Jesus Christ, I've only just seen this as well. The Club World Cup final pre-match anthem, player, announcer, and halftime show. Robbie Williams and Laura Pausini will perform the official FIFA anthem. I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be good. I'm guessing Laura Pausini, is that... Who's Laura Pausini? I thought that... Is it... Well, it says Doja Cat's there. Is that her real name? I don't know who the hell Laura Pausini is. I'm going to quickly look it up. Who is Laura Pausini? Who the hell is that? No idea who she is. Never heard of her. No idea. Okay. Michael Buffer will deliver his Let's Get Ready to Rumble line, and the US President Donald Trump will be in attendance. Do you know what I say to that? Let's make Chelsea great again. Let's make Chelsea great again, people. The halftime show is by Coldplay frontman Chris Martin, and it will feature in an all-star lineup that includes J Balvin, Doja Cat, and Thames. I don't know who Thames is. Who's Thames? A nice voice. Okay. Well, that's good enough, I guess. So, all right. Well, that's pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. That's pretty cool that you got some big names coming. To be expected, though, if they want to sell it. Obviously, this was the famous picture with Palmer and Dembele as well. I don't know if you've seen the video of them actually being lifted up onto the platform, but it's quite a good picture. It's quite a good video, sorry. I don't think they said a word to each other. I was thinking, come on, guys. But maybe Cole's just a bit shy. I don't know. But I don't really care. As long as we beat PSG, I don't really care. But they did eventually shake hands, to be fair. They shook hands. What a great picture, to be fair. What a moment. Coming back onto the Club World Cup as well, FIFA president Gianni Infantino said the FIFA Club World Cup has been a huge success. We generated almost $2 billion. It's already the most valuable cup competition in the world. Chelsea versus PSG is a fantastic final. And if I'm not wrong, he also mentioned that if you're looking at it on a per game basis, then it's about 30 odd million a game. I think it's about $30 million a game that's being generated for teams from the Club World Cup. So it's difficult to argue against the financial success of this tournament, because I think a lot of people expected it to be worse. And if they have been able to generate that kind of money, then I'd say fair play to them. I don't really have an issue with it. I really don't have a problem. But what I do have a problem is they're bragging about the attendance, and Infantino saying that we're averaging over 40,000 fans per game in the stadiums. And he said the only other league that compares to that is the Premier League. And I'm thinking, well, why are you bragging about the attendance here? Because the attendance is, I mean, I've been out there, right? And it was embarrassing most of the time. It was embarrassing. So let's not sit here and act like the attendance has been fantastic, especially from a Chelsea point of view. It's actually been pretty poor. Even in like the Palmeiras game, what was the other one we played? I mean, all of them, like the Flamengo game didn't sell out. Yeah, okay, you had more fans there than empty seats, but is that the logic we're going to use in England now? So what if we sell 35,000 seats at Stamford Bridge? Is that a good capacity just because 75% of the stadium's full? That's not a sellout, so it's not successful. And I think that people need to appreciate that FIFA's pricing has been very wrong. And they have actually learned from their mistakes, because we did see the prices start to come down. Especially with the knockouts, we saw tickets going for as cheap as $8 to $11, and they still didn't sell out the stadiums, even with those prices. So let's not act like it's a massive success in terms of attendance. It hasn't been, but financially, it's good, And I don't have an issue with the Club World Cup being held in America. I don't have a problem with it. They'll obviously have to relocate, and in 4 years' time, if they're going to do the same thing, they should host these tournaments in Africa. They should host them in South America, in Asia, in Australia. If this is really what they want it to be, this is the Club World Cup in Europe. They should go all round. So I look forward to seeing where the next one is. And fingers crossed, Chelsea can qualify again. I mean, who knows? But I think we will. If we win it, we will never get these owners out. I disagree with that, Neil. I disagree. I think that Clear Lake, they bought Chelsea to sell Chelsea. That's ultimately their priority. So they just want to increase business value, and it just increases the value that they can sell. If anything, we want Chelsea to do well so that they get the price they want, so that they do sell. That's the way you really want to look at it. Because if the club isn't performing, then you'll see more damage, which will be done purely for financial reasons, and that won't make anyone happy either. So if we can make money through success on the pitch, I think that's a huge bonus for us, and we are in a very healthy PSR position as it stands. Be ready. Smoking, cooking, roasted. Feeling the adrenaline? 5-0. Bloody hell. Am I going to be at the stadium? No, I'm not at the stadium. I was invited. and I declined the invitation. I declined it because I've been in America for 3 weeks, guys, and I'm not employed. I'm self-employed. I don't make that much. I don't really make money from Cwc Fan TV, so it's not like I can just pay for the trip and pay my bills like that. I needed to come back and work, so I opted to stay and work. For those of you who don't know, I'm a tennis coach. So your boy was back on the tennis coach. I flew back on the Sunday, and I was back on court on Monday. So back to normal. We're going to be on it like a car bonnet. I want to see your score predictions in the chat as well, people. Smash that like button. We should be on at least 100 likes as it stands. Let me know in the chat what we're on, because I can't see right now. Let me know. What does Lewis and Nina do for day jobs? Lewis is a full-time YouTuber, mate. And Nina does bits and bobs, really. She does bits and bobs. So I don't think she just does one thing. No, I'm not in the US, guys. I'm in London. Well, I'm in near London. So I'm in England. As it stands. Sorry to disappoint you all. I am sorry. You can't have it all in life, can you? You can't have it all. If we look at what Chelsea have said, Reece James said, we will surprise a lot of people. Also, you've got to remember, we've had 7 clean sheets during this period as well. So our defense has been pretty good. And I think that if we are going to concede goal, I don't think it's because our defending's bad. I think it's because we make a mistake when we have the ball. So I don't know if you know Coach Raz. He's a guy very, very good to watch. If you don't know who Coach Raz is, I actually think I might try and get him on the channel. I love his opinions on sort of tactics. And, he has a whiteboard, and he basically describes what he thinks is going to happen and all the rest of it. See if I can share this with you. Can I log in? Shit. I can never remember my password. Oh, it's Coach Rafaz. So not Coach Raz. This is the one. Oh, I found it. Beautiful. Okay. Let's share this. This, guys, if you haven't watched this is a great video talking about the game. I'll just refresh the page.
And a chance of lifting the Club World Cup trophy. They must not play out from the back. I repeat, they must not play out from the back. Why? Because of Ousmane Dembele standing on the edge of the penalty box, staring the 2 centre-backs and the goalkeeper down and saying, go on, I dare you to play the pass, because I'm going to absolutely sprint towards you. And then if the pass goes there, I'm going to sprint after you. And if it goes there, I'm going to sprint after you as well. We've seen the evidence. Inter Milan, Real Madrid, PSG have absolutely annihilated them with that high pressure. So the evidence is there, ladies and gentlemen. Can Chelsea recognise that and say, okay, in that case, we are going to go long from goal kicks. We are going to set up like we want to play, just open up the space. Enzo will start deeper. Andre Santos, Caicedo slightly higher from goal kicks, because they are both aggressive, athletic, able to win the second ball. Into Liam Delap, he's going to drop into there. Can Andre Santos win it? Palmer, João Pedro, very high and wide, stretching PSG's back line, being that option in behind all to feet. And then when that happens, Chelsea can go backwards, and then they can play further up the pitch. That's very important. There's a difference between playing out from the back and winning the second ball, playing backwards, and then playing around the edge of your own centre circle. There's a key difference there. Just watch the 2 times PSG have played against Bayern Munich. Champions League quarter-final, in the Club World Cup quarter-final. Bayern Munich created a lot of problems for PSG through crossing the ball into the box, not once, not twice, relentlessly. And that's what Chelsea have to replicate in this game. Cucurella and James are ready to push up into that space. Caicedo, Santos are making these runs as soon as the ball goes into Delap and it drops in there. Pedro, Palmer could be involved in that second ball. And let's say Palmer gets involved to win that second ball. Pedro is making this run for a one-touch pass into that space. And let's say there isn't an opportunity to go forward and the ball's just bouncing around with Ruiz, Neves in and around it, Santos, Caicedo. If they can win that midfield duel, all they would have to do is take a touch here and then go backwards into Chalobah, into Colwill, and then they can reset. By that time, Kvaratskhelia, Doué, Dembele would have dropped back a little bit, and then Chelsea can be very fast with their build-up play. And then when Chelsea...
By the way, just to touch on what he said there, so intelligent, this guy. I mean, he's brilliant. If you don't follow Coach Raffaz on Instagram, follow him. He's brilliant. Really good knowledge. And he doesn't just do stuff on Chelsea, he does stuff on all the teams, but he happened to make something for this. So if we are doing what he's mentioned there and we are going long and then passing backwards as opposed to being direct, I mean, he's explained it so clearly. It's actually a good thing. It's our way of being able to play out, but without playing out from the back. And I'm absolutely all for that. So I think that, you know, when we look at the style of play, and you know, there's so many opportunities where Chelsea do pass backwards and it frustrates people. Actually, when you look at it from that perspective, he's hit the nail on the head, but there's a little bit more.
Also are looking to create chances. They must have a solid rest defense structure. So Reece James, do not go ahead of the ball. Just tuck in. Cucurella, do not go ahead of the ball. Out of Andre Santos, Caicedo, one of them can push forward and one of them has to cover that area, has to control that space, because PSG in transition are absolutely deadly as well. So Chelsea have to always be thinking about defending when they are attacking. When Palmer has the ball here, Caicedo, Enzo could make these underlapping runs, create a 2v1, maybe drag Fabian Ruiz out, which could open up space for someone like Andre Santos to push up. But when that happens, we're looking at Colwill, Chalobah to really push up aggressive to just once again control and limit the space between defense and attack. With Liam Delap waiting for the cross in between Pacho and Marquinhos, asking them the question, João Pedro hitting the back post, there could be some success there for Chelsea, but it's just about them making it count when they get their chance, because I think Chelsea will get a couple of chances, but will they make it count? That's the real question. Drop in your thoughts in the comments below on this Club World Cup final. What is your prediction and why? Peace. Now, if Chelsea...
That guy is sensational. If you don't follow him, then I'll be honest with you, you're missing out. Very few people I follow that do that kind of content, but I've been following him for a good year, 2 years. I think he's top notch, 10 out of 10, honestly. Absolutely brilliant. Smash the like button, people. Smash that like button. We've got over 200 of you in the building. I don't even know how many likes we've got as it stands. I'll have a little look in a second. But yeah, if you haven't smashed that like button, please do. It helps. Oh my God, we've got less than 100 likes. We've got 66 as it stands. Get me up to 100 people. At least 100, especially if you're feeling relatively confident. I mean, if you're more confident than you felt at the beginning of the tournament that we could win it, then smash that like button. That should be most people, because I didn't think we had a chance of even getting to the semi-finals. And now here we are against PSG in a position where we can become the Club World Cup champion, the Club World Cup champions. Don't tell me not to flex if we win this competition. We will be all over it. And I will be giving Maresca all the credit in the world. All of it. And the recruitment. They deserve it if we get to this stage. In fact, to be honest, they already deserve credit for getting to this stage. A lot of people said, if Chelsea don't win this, it's an absolute disgrace. You know, I was having a debate with Kev. He said, I'll support this project if we beat PSG. If we don't beat PSG, I don't support this project. How does that make any sense? It's one game, and one game is not enough to flip, you know, especially when the opposition is so much better than us, if we're being totally honest. So much better than us. So if we can make it count, I mean, I'll be over the moon. I'll be in jubilation. If we don't win, I'd still be proud of the team getting to where we are. That's honestly how I feel. If people are going to take the stance that they'll absolutely rip into this team if we don't beat PSG, I think that's a what's the way of putting it? People go, "Oh, but I have standards. I have standards, and you don't have standards." I just think at that point you sound a bit like a Glory supporter. You know, I am a fan of Chelsea. I love watching Chelsea. We've got to this stage. It's been a great journey, a fantastic journey watching it. Has the football been great at times? No. But have we improved week in, week out? Yes, we have. We have improved as this tournament's gone on, and we've looked better. And we've been able to integrate players like João Pedro because of this competition, getting Delap involved, understanding the hierarchy of some of these players, understanding how Sanchez can perform in these competitions, whether our midfield works. Although I will say, actually, we've been speaking about Caicedo. There is a good chance that Caicedo isn't available. I mean, I don't know the details. I don't think he's come out as injured as it stands. I mean, if Maresca uses the same stance that he uses with Reece James, then I think he drops Caicedo for fitness reasons. But if he is looking at it the way we want him to look at it, which is win the fucking game, who cares? Then he'll play Caicedo. He will. But, you know, yeah, we'll see. Great question, Morgans. What is the lineup? So we already did our combined lineup. If we were bringing PSG and Chelsea together, which looks something like this. But what about if it's just Chelsea on its own? What about if there is no PSG players involved? That is a great question. And we start off with Robert Sanchez in goal. And then Cucurella on the left. I think that's a pretty, basic observation. That's pretty fair. And then we look at the defense and we say, okay, what are we going to do? What are we looking to do? And I'm looking at the fact that we're going to be up against a team that has a high press. Okay. And for that reason, I am not going to play Tosin. I'm going to play Chalobah. And then I'm going to play Colwell next to him. I know that I'm actually one of Tosin's biggest fans. I love Tosin. I was the first person to say that I would take Tosin over Fofana. Love the guy. I think he was great business, better business than buying Fofana by a mile and a half. It's not because I hate Fofana. It's because I just don't think he was worth the money. And to be quite frank, I think he's overrated. And that is because of his lack of fitness, not because of his ability. I think he's obviously a great centre-back. But, I'm a great singer. You don't see me on stage, do you? So if you don't do it, then why should we keep saying you're really, really great if you're never actually there? And that's my stance. So I'm going with that back three to start. And then the question is, do we start Reece James? And the answer is fuck yes. Absolutely. You rested him in the last game for the reason that, fingers crossed, you were going to start him in this one. But that does not mean that he inverts. Please don't play him as a midfielder. Please. I don't even have an issue with James inverting. Just don't play him as a midfielder. I would rather see James here coming in than see him starting here. That is a problem. Okay, so that's what I'm looking to see. Then, fingers crossed, Caicedo is fit and available and he's recovered and we can get him in. And there's no question of who plays next to him. Great midfield, perfectly capable of competing against PSG's. Although I would still expect PSG to win that battle, to be quite honest. But very, very good midfield lineup. Palmer in the 10. And then we look up top and we have a few different options. But if you're looking at what Coach Rafa said, the guy that we just had on before, he did something that I think is a great option. João Pedro on the left, the lap up front, Neto on the right. I am really happy with that lineup. Really happy. Okay. You got a player who can cause problems with hold up with the lap. You got João Pedro who's in great form, who can play all over the front line. Still expect him to perform. Maybe, link up with the lap a little bit, and Palmer. You got defensive stability in there. Very solid defensively. Maybe a mistake from Chalobah. But he's got experience around him with James. He's got cover from Caicedo. And he's more likely to but be able to break through the press of Dembele than a player like Tosin. That's why I don't start Tosin, because Tosin passes a little bit slower, if I'm totally honest. Don, good to see you, mate. You've got to start Santos, Enzo, and Caicedo. 3-man midfield. Palmer. Okay. Let's have a look then. So what are we looking at? A midfield 3. Let's give it a crack, shall we? So we're looking at more of a 4-3-3. And then Neto gets dropped then, yeah? So are we looking at something like that, or are we looking at a 4-3-2-1? That's another option, a 4-3. Where's a 4-3-2-1? There you go. Is that what we're looking at, people? How's that looking? Well, it's not my this is my choice. I'm just going with what Don said. Oh, so you keep Neto on. So Neto right wing, Palmer left wing, but tuck in Cuckoo in. Tuck in with, but Cuckoo never overlaps, does he? I'll be honest. I don't think that's a terrible lineup. The formation could obviously change. But yeah, my personal, I mean, if I'm going formation, we can change. Formation, you can always change. But I mean, if we're just going based on what we've seen most of the time, then I think this is what will happen. That's my prediction. I would be very happy to see Andre Santos start. Very, very happy. And I do agree with I don't know who said it in the comments. Neto should start. I mean, he's been our best player in this tournament. So to drop him would be unfair, but also he has a motivation that nobody else in that team has. And I honestly do believe that the Jota passing away is going to be eating up at Neto, and he's going to feel an extra motivation to win this tournament for his mate and dedicate that to Diego Jota. I really, really believe that. Which game was it? Was it the Palmeiras game? That was before. That was when Jota passed, and then Neto walked onto the pitch, and we were thinking. I mean, I was surprised that he walked on that pitch. I'll be honest with you. I was very, very surprised. And he took it in his grasp, and he did not disappoint. And sometimes you have this feeling. I don't know if I presume most of you have played sport. Obviously, I played sport. I wasn't a footballer, actually. I'm a tennis guy. But when you get into that zone and you have this motivation that's just different from anything else you've experienced before, It could be that you're playing in a big competition. It could be, I don't know, maybe a girl that you like is watching you, like whatever it is. And sometimes it's something that's bad that's happened, like someone passing away. And there's two ways you can look at it. You can look at it in the sense of, you know what, I just need some time away. My head's not in the right space. I can't focus properly. I'm upset. I can't focus. And the other side is no. They wouldn't want me to stop. This is not what they would want. They would want me to finish the job. They would want me to do well, be strong. And that has fucking smashed it. Absolutely smashed it. I'll be intrigued to see Pedro on the left, but I think you make a great point. I do think you make a great point. So who we put on the left side then? Alcaraz or Sinner today? Good question. I'm going to go Sinner. Sinner for me. Yeah, I'm going to go Sinner. I still haven't had a good suggestion on who's going to play on the left. We've got a few options, people. Obviously, Madueke is no longer one of those options. Although he is still advertised as a Chelsea player. So are we going with Nkunku? Are we going with Jackson? Are we going with Gittins? Would you like to see Dewsbury Hall start in the Club World Cup final? You think Nkunku starts? Wow. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I'm keeping Pedro in there instead of Nkunku. But I'm definitely open to Andre Santos starting, 100%. Listen, people, if you haven't smashed that like button, please do. It helps the channel. I hope you've enjoyed. I was meant to do a slightly shorter preview, but I thought I've got to do something, haven't I? I've got to do something. But I really appreciate everyone watching. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Let's see if we can get to 200. We've got over 250 of you in here as it stands. And listen, enjoy your day. I'm going to watch the tennis now, and then I'm going to watch the Club World Cup. Fingers crossed that Chelsea can produce on the biggest stage. And, when I make the next video, it's praising everyone, which is what I would love to do, and talking about what we can do in the Premier League. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and up the Chelsea.